Just about every city has a street where teens cruise to see and be seen. In East LA, that street is Whittier Boulevard. Weekend nights from 11 o'clock on, the traffic on Whittier is bumper to bumper. Car clubbers don't cruise Whittier much anymore because they say it's not worth the risk of ruining a $2,000 paint job if someone hassles them. They say it's mostly gang members doing the Whittier scene now.
The cruising started in Whittier and went into East Los Angeles years ago. But the problems weren't there that we have today. Now the problems are a little more serious.
What are some of those problems?
Well, we find that the street gangs have discovered that Whittier Boulevard is a good place to find other gang members, and they have their confrontations on the boulevard. There have been numerous shootings and numerous stabbings, numerous sex assaults on young girls. I understand that one particular gang has made a declaration that Whittier Boulevard in the city of Montebello is theirs, and any other gang members that show up, they'll probably die.
Gang members, they really don't got nothing to care about. They just go out, they'll drink all day, have a good time. They don't necessarily worry about a job. And yet, it's only a small percentage of them. They're making it bad for everybody.
I wouldn't really classify gang members as low riders. They have low-ride automobiles, don't get me wrong. But when you have a gang that's bent on going out and involving themselves in a fight, in a gang fight, a gang bang, they're not going to take one of their lowriders that's got a $1,500 paint job on it and go looking for problems. They'll take other vehicles. They'll take their Chevys, and they will be lowered, but not to the expense that the lowriders put into their automobiles.
If I was gonna go out causing trouble, well, they're gonna smash my windshields or mess with my car, mess with my family. If you're, troublemaker, whatever, you're a cholo, whatever you want to call it, you're gonna be out messing around, you're gonna get shot, you're gonna shoot them, but you have nothing really to lose. There's no investment.
A special police patrol called the Zebra Team has the job of keeping things on Whittier Boulevard under control. But the zebras, lowriders, and gang members don't get along, and things seem to be getting worse. Según algunos lowriders, continúan las malas relaciones entre estos grupos, porque la policía no distingue entre los lowriders y los miembros de las gangas.
I got pulled over Saturday night for, I made a wrong turn, Started, they put your hands over your head and all that. They treat you like a criminal. Started crushing my knuckles, and when they tell you to spread your feet, they start kicking you, and I had bruises on my ankles and things like that from the way they were kicking me, because I made a wrong turn. But that, again, that's Montebello cops. It varies from city to city.
Now, and when you stop, I want to see hands.
I see on Whittier Boulevard with the officers out there that are reaching a point of frustration with the problems on the boulevard, with shootings almost every weekend. They've reached a stress level that I know that something is bound to happen. When you put a man under that kind of stress from Saturday nights, from 9 o'clock at night until 5 o'clock Sunday morning every weekend, he has no time with his family. The weekend is completely shot for that man. And some of those officers are working double shifts. The officers are just reaching a point where it's like a rubber band that's going to break. It's awful hard to put a man under that kind of pressure without something bad happening.
Albuquerque police and lowriders had some of the same problems as their counterparts in Los Angeles, but there's a big difference. Here in Albuquerque, police and lowriders get together to talk out their differences in regular meetings. Y como resultado, a través de esta cooperación y coordinación, existen hoy día buenas relaciones entre los lowriders y la policía de Albuquerque. Officer Heschley, how long have you been working with the lowriders?
I've been working with the car clubs here in Albuquerque about 6 months now. the cooperation that has been established. We're having monthly meetings, and in these meetings that we have, there's a lot of interaction between the car clubs, between the police department concerning the parks, drinking, and so forth, and it's cooperation on both parts, and everything is working real well. We all sat down. I just opened the meeting is all I did. Took us about 2 hours, and they talked it out.
The Albuquerque Police Department has really worked very close with the lowriders, and these meetings that we do have every month, there's some problems that arises, but we solve them the best way we can.
Central Avenue used to be the place for cruising in Albuquerque, but traffic became such a problem that shoppers and even emergency vehicles couldn't get through. So the police had to close the street to everyone. But first, the police and lowriders met and found a place where car clubbers could cruise and get together without hassles.
We did meet with the different car clubs, the lowriders, explain the situation to them rather than a confrontation sort of approach to it. They became involved in it then, understanding what the problem was, became part of the problem solution, used their own network of communication, so to speak, and they did move out of that area. They went into another area which was also compatible with their type of meetings, or the things which they wanted, and in turn then the problem dissolved.
It tries to show society that we can work together. I've seen in other states, in part of the country that cannot relate with officers, and we're trying to show something here that we can.
Is something going to be done about these people that are trying to kill each other up there in the heights, that are racing each other down South Ubac and all this stuff? I mean,
there's still holdouts, if you want to call them that, and it's just because of the fact that they're not aware of what a lowrider is. Once it's explained to them what a lowrider is, what they're doing for the community, that's when the change is made. That was what we started with the car clubs and the police department 6 months ago, is trying to change the image that everybody thought they were.
In New Mexico, the police and the lowriders are cooperating. Is there anything like that going on here in California?
Not that we know.
Well, if you talk to the police department, I'm sure they say they cooperate. If you talk to us, we'll probably say they won't. So you'll get two different viewpoints.
It's not that the lowriders aren't trying. They've been trying, but the cops are harassing them. You know, they're just getting too much harassment from the police down there in East LA. They don't even want to cooperate with the lowriders.
I think, Mike, the problem is that the gang members are here because it's a place where they know they're going to find other gang members. And unfortunately, one of the biggest serious problems that represents is the danger to the kids that are cruising, the lowriders, the decent kids that are out just to enjoy an evening. Somebody might get caught up in a hail of bullets or a knife or a tire iron in the head in the middle of one of these gang conflicts. Bullets don't stop for anybody. And it hasn't happened yet. But I think things are going to get worse. I don't think they're going to get better. And I don't see an end to it.
It really hasn't developed at this point, and hopefully it never will develop into the problems which cities such as Los Angeles, say, has with the cholos. We're on top of it, and we do have certain officers assigned to it to make sure that, the energies and the efforts which are exerted by these different groups, if they can go towards sports, if they can go towards something productive, it's a lot better than having them out in hit-and-run groups, fighting, becoming involved in drugs or some different type of crime.
For a long time, police and lowriders in Albuquerque didn't think they could ever agree on anything. But when they started talking to each other, they soon found ways of working out their problems, like where to cruise. Por mucho tiempo, la policía y los lowriders en Albuquerque pensaban que no era posible resolver sus problemas. Pero cuando empezaron a tener juntas, se dieron cuenta que sí podían resolver los problemas. The problems in Los Angeles are more serious than those in Albuquerque, and there are no easy solutions. But one thing is certain. If lowriders and the police are ever to reach an agreement, they have to start talking.